There is a common misconception that Christopher Columbus was the first European to discover America. This is not true. The Vikings had established a settlement in Newfoundland, Canada around 500 years before Columbus arrived. So who really discovered America? Let's find out in today's video. Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to look at who really discovered America. If you enjoy this video, please click the like button and subscribe so you will never miss an exciting episode. Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer who is traditionally credited with discovering the Americas. However, recent evidence suggests that he was not the first European to reach the mainland. Instead, the first European to set foot in North America was probably a Viking explorer named Bjornsson, also known as Bruno or Bernard. He is believed to have landed in Newfoundland, Canada around the year 970 AD, more than 500 years before Columbus arrived. Bjornsson's discovery was part of a larger exploration and colonization effort by the Vikings, who were known to be excellent sailors and traders. They established a settlement in Greenland around 860 AD, and from there they began exploring the surrounding areas. One of these explorers was Eric the Red, who was banished from Iceland for murder and chose to settle in Greenland. He established a trading post there, and it became a thriving center for the fur trade. Eric's son, Leif Erikson, is the one who is said to have discovered the mainland of North America. He is believed to have sailed west from Greenland and landed in Newfoundland, where he established a settlement called Vinland. According to the Icelandic sagas, a collection of medieval texts that tell the history of the Vikings, Vinland was a lush and fertile land with plenty of wild grapes, which the Vikings used to make wine. However, the exact location of Vinland has been the subject of much debate and speculation among historians and archaeologists. Some believe that it was located in Newfoundland, while others argue that it was further south on the coast of Maine or Nova Scotia. Despite the uncertainty over its exact location, archaeological evidence has confirmed that there was a Norse settlement in Newfoundland. In 1960, a team of Canadian archaeologists led by Helge Ingstad and Øystein Stendal discovered the ruins of a Norse settlement at Lonceau Meadows. The site contained the remains of 8 buildings, including a longhouse, as well as artifacts such as iron working equipment, a cauldron, spindle whorls, combs, and other domestic items. The dating of these artifacts to the 10th century AD provided strong evidence that the Vikings had indeed reached North America. But if the Vikings had been the first to discover America, why is Columbus given the credit? There are several reasons for this. Firstly, the sagas were not widely known outside of Scandinavia, and so the story of Leif Erikson and Vinland was largely forgotten until the 19th century. Secondly, Columbus's voyages were better documented, and his discovery of the Americas was seen as a significant event in world history. Thirdly, Columbus was a European explorer, and so his discovery was seen as a greater achievement than that of the Vikings, who were considered to be barbarians by many Europeans. Finally, there was a lot of political will to claim that Columbus was the first to find America because it suited the nationalistic fervor of the time. Columbus's voyages were sponsored by the Spanish monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, and his discovery of the Americas was seen as a way to increase Spain's wealth and power. As the first European to reach the mainland, he was celebrated as a hero and his statue was erected in many cities and towns throughout Europe. However, in recent years, there has been a growing movement to recognize the Vikings' contribution to the discovery of America. In 2019, a new statue of Leif Erikson was unveiled in the U.S. Capitol, Washington, D.C., to commemorate the 1000th anniversary of his arrival in North America. And in 2021, the Royal Norwegian Embassy in the U.S. launched a campaign to promote the story of the Vikings' discovery of America. So who really discovered America? Well, the answer depends on how you define discovery. If you define it as the first recorded contact between Europeans and the indigenous peoples of the Americas, then the answer is the Vikings. They were the first Europeans to set foot on the continent, and they established a settlement there around 500 years before Columbus arrived. However, if you define discovery as the opening up of the Americas to European exploration and colonization, then the answer is Christopher Columbus. His voyages marked the beginning of a new era in world history, and he is credited with opening up the Americas to European settlers. Regardless of who you credit with the discovery of America, there is no doubt that both the Vikings and Columbus played important roles in shaping our world. The Vikings were skilled explorers and traders who helped to connect the world of the 10th century. And Columbus's voyages marked the beginning of a new era in world history and led to the exchange of goods, ideas, and people between the Americas and Europe. The discovery of America is a monumental event in world history that changed the course of human civilization. Before Columbus's arrival, the two continents of the Old World and the New World were completely isolated from each other. The only contact between the two worlds was through the occasional ship that traveled along the African coast or through the ships that explored the Indian Ocean, but the vast majority of people in Europe and Asia knew nothing about the existence of the other continent. When Columbus reached the Americas, he opened up a new world of possibilities for the people of Europe. It quickly became clear that the Americas were rich in resources, and there was a lot of money to be made in exploring and colonizing the new land. Within a few decades of Columbus's arrival, European powers were racing to claim as much of the Americas as possible. The discovery of the Americas also had a profound impact on the indigenous peoples. The Europeans brought with them new diseases that devastated the native populations. Additionally, the Europeans began to enslave the indigenous people, forcing them to work in mines or on plantations. The discovery of the Americas was a tragic event for the indigenous people. It is important to remember that the discovery of the Americas was not just a one-time event, but rather a process that took place over several centuries. The Vikings were the first Europeans to reach the Americas, but their presence was small and had little lasting impact on either Europe or the Americas. It was really the Spanish and Portuguese who spearheaded the Age of Discovery and their exploration and colonization of the Americas that had the most profound impact on world history. Today, the Americas are home to people from all over the world, and the discovery of the Americas has had a lasting impact on our world. The exchange of goods, ideas, and people between the Americas and Europe has had a profound impact on both continents and has shaped the world we live in today. The discovery of America is a complex and controversial topic that has been debated by historians for centuries. There is no simple answer to the question of who really discovered America, but hopefully this video has given you some insight into the different perspectives on this issue. The discovery of America was a momentous occasion in world history, and it is important to remember the contributions of all of the explorers who helped to shape our world. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe so you never miss an exciting episode. Also, let me know in the comments what you think. Who really discovered America, and what would you like to learn next? See you next time on my channel.